Hey guys, how's it going? This is Chappie here at Intense, and in this video we're going to be going over how to set the suspension up specific to your rider weight. So there's a couple key measurements we need to keep in mind as we go through setting up the suspension specific to your rider weight. So starting with the fork, we're going to be looking for 30 millimeters or just at 20% sag, and we're going to take that measurement using this O-ring and the top of the seal lip with our ruler, just at 30 millimeters. So then moving to the rear shock, the key measurement we're going to be looking for with all the rider weight on the bike is 168.5 millimeters. And this will be represented from center of bolt hole of the lower shock bolt and center of bolt hole of the upper shock bolt. At this point, we're going to bring a rider in, which we have Cody here. And at this point, what we're going to do is have him put all his weight on the saddle, both feet on the pedals, and both hands on the grip. Now Cody, if you can cycle the suspension a couple times. All right, go ahead, stay seated, everything's still attached. We're gonna roll our O-ring back down to the seal head and have the rider hop off. All right, so at this point, you can see it's visibly too short. So what we'll need to do is drop our air pressure in order to achieve that 30 millimeters or just at 20% sag. All right, so we know our rider weight is 155 pounds, and based off the measurement we just took, it's a little on the stiff side. So in order to correct that, we're gonna reference the air pressure chart on the back of the fork, and on that chart you'll see listed here for rider weight, the lower air chamber is gonna be at 205 PSI, and our upper air chamber is going to be at 100 PSI. So we will want to start with the lower air chamber and then move to the top. But to add air to the lower air chamber on our fork, we're going to remove our gold cap, remove our black cap, and this will expose the schrader valve. At that point, we will simply screw on our shock pump. And once the needle starts to move on our shock pump, we know we have successfully hooked this up. Right now we are showing 190 PSI, so we're going to go ahead and bump this up to 205. Reinstall our black cap. All right, in order to gain easy access to our air cap, we're going to need to rotate our monitor forward. So we're going to do that by using our 3 millimeter Allen. Just going one turn to loosen that up, and then just simply rotate this up, and that will give us easy access. From here, just remove our air cap. We'll hook up our shock pump. It's almost 200 pounds, so we know the pressure we need to adjust our fork to is 100 pounds. So using our red button, we can bleed that down, 100 right on the nose. And from there, simply remove our shock pump, rotate our display back down. All right, and then moving to the rear with our rider seated on the bike, both feet on the pedals, both hands on the grips, we will go ahead and balance the rider. Have the rider give the suspension a couple small cycles. Then we'll make sure our compression knobs are wide open in the forward position. The measurement we're looking for is 168.5 millimeters. So as you can see here, we are right on the money. So if you're outside of that 168.5 sag measurement, the way to make that adjustment is by adjusting our spring preload, and that can be done by turning our spring collar either looser or tighter. All right, so if you have to go less than 1.5 turns or more than 5 turns of preload on your coil, that might entail that we need to change the spring rate in order to get the suspension adjusted per your rider weight. So in order to do that, please refer to our spring swap video for further information. And if you have any further questions on how to properly set up the bike for you, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always happy to help, and thanks for choosing Intense.